Hi guys, this is Katie and today is the next video in our China travel series. We are leaving Shanghai and traveling down to Changzhou. So for this trip, we had a few flights, but we also used the speed train. So this is a speed train that travels from Shanghai all the way across China, and one of the stops is Changzhou, which is where we are stopping at. And then in the next video, we will be going to Nanjing and then Hangzhou, because they are all on that train line, on that speed train line. Book your tickets in advance, but it is a great way to get around China. One, it is a little bit more cost effective if you're traveling around, and it's a lot easier if you take into account you don't have to go through a big security check at an airport and all those types of things. There still is a security check, but it's just not as stressful. You don't have to be there 3 hours before your train and that type of stuff. One tip I would give is to pre-book your speed train tickets in China though. So if you are traveling China and you want to use the speed train, download the C-Trip app and book your tickets in advance. So you can get speed train tickets on the day. So we actually used to live in a place called Tianning, which is just outside of Beijing, and you could get a train ticket on the day because it's like a 30-minute speed train. And it was possible to get tickets on the day, but during really busy times, and especially if you're going to busy cities like Shanghai, you need to be booking in advance because they can go really quickly. So we arrived in our hotel in Changzhou. We are staying at a JinJiang Inn. I think this is like a Chinese chain, and it is near the Tianning temple area, so we're looking forward to seeing that in the next few days. So we've got 2 twin beds just because the room was a bit bigger if you had 2 twin beds, and there is a very kind of interesting layout over here. So you've got your beds, TV, kind of half wardrobe thing going on, I think, aircon, and yeah, so your little kettle area and a desk. And then out here we've closed the blinds at the moment just because it was so warm when we got in, but you've got the street out here, and it's quite nice actually. You can open the window if you want to, but it's got a mosquito netting, so you don't need to worry about mosquitoes. And here's the bathroom as well, so you've got a sink, toilet and shower. So we decided to pop out to get some food. We haven't had lunch yet, and around the hotel there are lots of like restaurants, but they don't open till the evening, and we found a pub actually that we're going to go to for dinner. So we decided to just kind of head to this supermarket that's nearby and see what they have, and we found some random snacks that they don't have in Tianjin. So Cam got very excited. So we are in Changzhou, we've checked in, we've explored the area, we went to a local supermarket, and this is a very local city. Now this is a bit of an odd one because we came to this city because it was along on the speed train route, and there's a really interesting theme park which we will get to tomorrow, but apart from that, it's a really local place to visit. We went to one of the only bars in the area and had some German sausage and some craft beer and cider. So one of the reasons that we came to Changzhou was because we wanted to check out this theme park. We had heard about this theme park. It is a bit unusual, a bit unique, and we wanted to check it out. The reason it's so weird and unusual is because it's like full of copyright. So this is actually in the papers about how they've copied a lot of other theme parks around the world, and because it's in China they haven't got told off. But Joyland is written in a font that you probably recognise if you're a Disney fan. These are Disney styled bins, so if you go to Disneyland they have these bins in the same style. They have some universal like layout designs, areas of this park that will remind you of other places in the world, other theme parks in the world. But we were surprised to see that this wasn't the worst part about this theme park. I mean, I found it quite entertaining that there was a lot of kind of similar references to other places in the world, other theme parks in the world, but overall the park was a bit of a letdown. We'll get to that in a minute. So we had a little bit of a later start today. It's around about 11 o'clock, so we decided to go for like an early lunch. They have a few restaurants in the theme park, not many of them were open. So this was one of the few that was open, and it was actually like a place that did steak. We chose not to have steak because it was so early, but I found it really interesting. You could look at the chefs whilst they were cooking and preparing the food. That is something unusual I hadn't seen before, ever, in China or elsewhere, so that was fun. But yeah, we actually went to have like these are like calamari squid rings and pizza. And yes, the pizza looked awful because, I mean, it was okay. And it had ham under it, I remember that much. But pizza in China isn't that great regardless. So it was decent for China. So here you can see a closed sign. So this attraction was closed, and I'm going to be honest guys, we saw this sign a lot whilst we were here. So yeah, there was so many attractions, restaurants, shops that were closed. Now this really surprised me because this was the height of summer. This was in the middle of August when all of the kids were off on their holidays, and they had this theme park, everything was closed. So there was like nobody there. There was like a handful of people there anyway, visiting this theme park because everything was closed. It was rubbish, and I was really disappointed because there was just like 1 or 2 shops that were open, 1 or 2 restaurants. I think we went on like 1 ride because everything else just seemed to be closed and nothing was going on. So I was really disappointed with that theme park. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it's unusual if you're there, but I wouldn't go out your way to go see it. So the following day, we decided to explore the city of Changzhou. We went to the Red Plum Park, which was near our hotel, and this is kind of in the center of the city. And here you will find the Tianning Temple and the Tianning Pagoda. Really beautiful kind of areas, gives you a really lovely view of local life here in China. I thought it was a really nice park to just kind of walk around, see what the local life here was like. It wasn't touristy at all. We were probably the only foreigners in the area. But yeah, a really nice little park to explore in Changzhou. And then in the evening we went to find some local food. Now because this is a really small city, you probably won't find too many Western chains here, but there are plenty of street vendors, so people that kind of sell out the front of their house, out the front of their living room. And that is something that I love about the kind of more residential areas in China. We had it in Tianjin where we lived as well. It was just a really lovely local vibe that you experience here. So I would definitely recommend coming to Changzhou. If you are traveling China and you happen to be on that speed train, I wouldn't go for the theme park, but Changzhou, as in the city, is lovely to visit. And I actually have 2 friends of mine who I used to work with in Thailand who enjoyed living in the city. They did say it was very local and it was very hard to find Western things here, like Western groceries, Western restaurants, but as a place to stop by and explore, we would definitely recommend it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and hit subscribe to watch our next video where we are heading to Nanjing. Take care guys, bye.